Hello there, my beautiful friends. Today I am going to be demonstrating how the Fruitlighters can be worn over top the Dragon Fruit eyeshadow palette. Now, I'm the kind of girl that really likes to layer my products up. I like to use products differently than they may have been, intended to be used for originally. I like to use things for multiple different types of applications to get my money's worth, if you will. So we are going to be showing how the Fruitlighters can be worn over the eyeshadows to create a completely different type of look and create eyeshadow magic. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. Just a brief disclaimer, I will be doing this exact video with the Pitaya fruit lighter as well, and that's going to be coming next on my channel, but today we are just using Tropico. Now, if you don't already know, the Dragon Fruit collection is actually my collaboration with Clionadh Cosmetics, which is my absolute favorite indie makeup brand in the entire world. They're just my favorite makeup brand in the entire world, just hands down. I do believe there are still some fruit lighters for sale on their website right now, so if you are interested in picking up Pitaya or Tropico, they are available on the Clionadh Cosmetics website, and there will be some palettes being restocked relatively soon, but go ahead and follow Clionadh's Instagram if you want to be up to date with all of the restocks and whatnot in the future. I'm going to be taking all of the different shades from the Dragon Fruit palette, applying each one of them on my eyes, and laying over top the Fruitlighters to show you guys the types of transformations that the Fruitlighters can bring to an eye look, and just show you guys how they look layered up, because I love to layer up different products, especially multi-chrome products. So I figured this would be helpful for those of you who might want the Fruitlighters but might want to be able to use them in different ways, or for those of you out there who have the entire collection already and want to be able to utilize the products a little bit differently. So we're going to start out with my DF03 brush. This is that beautiful flat kind of fluffy shader brush, if you will. Basically going to be using the DF03 brush for this entire video, and I'll just wipe off my brush in between the different shadows. But I'm going to be picking up some of Bubbles here, which is the first shade I'm going to use. And Bubbles is a glitter type iridescent multi-chrome with platinum, peach, gold, and lime turquoise shifts. This dimensional shadow is reminiscent of the rainbow iridescence of a bubble. And let's go ahead and go straight on in with Bubbles. On the other eye, on the same brush that I've just wiped off, we're going to be taking Refresh, which is a beautiful, like, strawberry kind of silvery pink shade. And it's a metallic finish, and we're just going to be popping this on the eyelid. It's like a Barbie pink that's a little bit more muted and a little bit more toned down. And I absolutely adore this color. I mean, I love all the colors, but this one in particular I love in the crease to start out any look. If I'm going for like more pink-based look, it is so perfect for that. And of course, this is what this video is all about. We are going to be placing Tropico over top of both of these shades just to show the transformational effect that the Fruitlighters can give to the eyeshadow palette. So putting Tropico over top of Bubbles just to show the kind of multi-dimensional effect that you'll get. You'll get a really icy, like, multi-chromatic iridescence with just a touch of pink because of Tropico having that pink gold shift. These two layered up is heavenly. It reminds me of like fairy eyeshadow. I absolutely adore it. As you can see, you see those kind of green and turquoise shifts and the platinum shifts that are in Bubbles, and then you just get this really nice warmth of the pink kind of peeking through. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it so much. Yeah, that's like probably one of my favorite combinations. We're like on the first shade and I'm already saying it's my favorite. And now we're popping Tropico over top of Refresh, which is going to give it more of a warm color, and it's going to make that kind of pink base really, really pop, because it's like layering two pinks together. It's going to be super bubblegummy, super beautiful. Totally my kind of eyeshadow, like, hello, this is me in an eyeshadow right here. So there are the first two shades with Tropico layered over top. As you can see, you still see the original eyeshadow shades underneath. It's not so pigmented and so intense that you just white out all of the original eyeshadow that you place down, but it just adds a little oomph to it, a little bit something extra, and I absolutely love that quality about the Fruitlighter. So next up we have Strawberry Pear, which is a coral with a velvet satin finish, and we're just going to place this over the lids. And next I'm picking up Dragontini, which is a mid-toned pink vibrant multi-chrome with gold, lime, and turquoise shifts. The shadow gives tropical beach sunset vibes, and that it does. And I would say that it most definitely does. I would say that the shade is the most similar to Tropico, but it's definitely different. There's more of a mauve undertone happening, whereas Tropico is a highlighter, it's more sheer, it's more bright and intense, and Dragontini is a little bit deeper and much more shimmery. And obviously this is one of my most favorite shades in the entire palette. Look at that. It is so stunning and so vibrant, and it's just so reflective. It's like wet and shimmery on the eyes, and it's pink and gold, which you already know I absolutely adore. We have Tropico, and we're gonna go ahead and place this right over top of Strawberry Pear. And it'll turn it a bit more golden, obviously, but it really lets that coral still shine through. Gosh, it's so pretty. So you end up with more of a kind of red and coral with that beautiful golden shift. I think it's so gorgeous. And now let's take Tropico and place it over top of Dragontini. This is going to be like the most shimmery and the most intense. And I'm so ready for it. Yep, that does exactly what I need it to do. It just brightens Dragontini and adds just another layer of dimension. Dragontini was already so dimensional, and then you add Tropico over top of it, and it's just like bright pink shimmery golden goodness. Oh my god, I could wear that every day for the rest of my life and be a happy girl. Okay, so this next one I am very excited for because we are going to be placing down Infusion, which is a sheer lilac shadow with pink, purple, and blue sparkles and a soft gold shift. This super dimensional shade doubles as a unique shadow topper. So this is one of those really beautiful super dimensional shades that are in the palette, and this one is primarily lilac with some beautiful shifts in there. So I am so excited to place this down and then put Tropico over it to show how intense and shimmery this guy gets. So we are placing down Infusion right onto the lid. As you can see, this is such a beautiful lilac shade that has pink and gold in it. I absolutely adore lilac eyeshadows, and this is just like my perfect lilac eyeshadow. It's got the gold, it's got the pink, it's super dimensional and beautiful. I can just wear this all over the lid and just leave it just like that. But it just gets so much more intense once you put other shadows over it or use it as a topper. It is so stunning. So next up we have Hilo Sirius, which is a magenta duochrome with copper shifts and warm undertones, inspired by the bright colors of the common dragon fruit. And we are going to be picking that up and placing it on the other eye. And as you can see, oh my god, it's so pretty. I'm seriously like amazed by the quality of these shadows. I mean, Clionadh has just such a great quality standard for their eyeshadows. They're smooth and buttery and easy to use, easy to blend, easy to layer up. If you've ever used one of their shadows before, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But then we just have these incredible colors that are just my absolute favorite. And it's just like a home run in my book. I know I'm biased, I know, but I really truly do like stand by these eyeshadows and just how beautifully they perform. And Hilo Sirius is so beautiful. It's a duochrome formula, so you get that beautiful like magenta kind of raisiny color, and then you get that gorgeous copper shift. I am absolutely in love. Okay, now let's take Tropico and place over top of Infusion, which I am so excited to show you guys just how gorgeous these two together are. Like, look at that. That is so stunning. It's like a lilac, and then it just has that beautiful pink gold reflect. Since Infusion already had pink and gold in it, this just really, really intensified the colors and just made them stand out that much more. The combination of shadows right here is just like my fairy tale, like fairy inspired dream eyeshadow come true. It is so beautiful. And now placing Tropico over Hilo Sirius, which just makes everything a little bit lighter and adds a gold element to the shadow. Since there's that beautiful copper element, you can see it really popping through now. That is such a unique combination. I think this color on its own, like if this was an eyeshadow, I think it would be really, really beautiful. And I just really love the copper shifts that really show through. You still get that little bit of magenta, that little bit of raisin, and then you get those beautiful copper undertones that the highlighter just really enhances. So now we are picking up Sweetened, which is somehow my favorite shade in the entire palette. It's a hot pink velvet satin, and it is just such a beautiful shade. It's like the perfect raspberry color, and it's the velvet satin formula, so you can apply it and have it be a little bit more metallic-y, or if you'd like to have it more matte, you can sheer it out with a brush. And it is just so versatile and such a beautiful, like, kind of mid-toned raspberry There isn't too much of a sheen, but you can see a little bit of a kind of satiny thing happening. But once you apply your brush over top and blend the edges, it just becomes so like velvety looking, and just the velvet satin name is just perfect for this formula. And on the other eye, we are placing Exotic, which is a metallic formula. It's like a rich raisin raspberry color that has a red undertone, so it's not nearly as coppery as hilo, sirius. And as you can see, the difference between Sweetened and Exotic is that Exotic has that kind of almost purpley red base, whereas Sweetened definitely is much more magenta, much more hot pink. And these two are just so beautiful on their own, but let's go ahead and put Tropico over top of Sweetened. And just like that, you can have like a spotlight eye effect really, really easily. I think that's such a pretty look to just leave it like that and just kind of blend the edges. But let's go ahead and put it all the way over top. It's like a strawberry effect. I absolutely adore it. It just reminds me of like strawberries and cream. I absolutely love it. Which ironically, the original idea for the Dragon Fruit palette was strawberries and champagne. So this shadow combination right here is really giving me that vibe. And now over top of Exotic, just a little bit deeper. The effects are pretty similar because, you know, you're putting a pink and gold highlighter over top of two magenta-y shadows. But obviously, once we put it over top of Exotic, it's going to be a little bit deeper and a little bit less bubblegummy. Whereas the undertones that are in Sweetened, the hot pink undertones, kind of brighten the hot pink undertone that's already in Tropico. Now we are taking Prickly, which is a rich grape velvet satin, and we're going to place this on the lids, like so. And now we are taking Cactaceae, which is a warm chartreuse velvet satin shade, and we're going to place this on the other lid here. Okay, now let's grab Tropico and get to layering. So we will first put Tropico over top, and as you can see, that really lightens things up, but you can still see that purple underneath. It's such a pretty combination. It's like this beautiful grape with golden and pink shifts. It just really transforms this color. And now let's place Tropico over Cactaceae, and this should really intensify the warm chartreuse kind of yellowy green undertones. Yeah, that really, really brightens the undertones that are already existing in Cactaceae. It's like a beautiful chartreuse yellowy green, and this just like brings it to the next level. It's so pretty. You actually don't see much of the pink when you layer these two together. You really see those golden, warm, yellowy undertones and then that beautiful green. That's a gorgeous combination. Both of these are absolutely beautiful. So we are going to go ahead and pick up Dragonfly, which is a glow stick green metallic, and we are going to place this all over the lids. And again, this is my DF03 brush that I have wet a little bit with some setting spray. I use like the most generic of setting spray basically ever. I use one from AOA Studio, which is like $1 on shopmissa.com, and not sponsored at all. Some of you guys were asking which setting spray I use, and I just use whatever I have on hand, which right now is the most basic dollar setting spray that you can get. And it does the trick. It's not like the most amazing thing in the world, but I'm just trying to get my brush wet and it does exactly that. So here is Dragonfly, and now we're going to place Fruit Fizz on the other lid, which is a salmon duochrome shadow with a golden lime shift inspired by the color variations of the dragon fruit. Okay, let's take Fruit Fizz and place it on the other lid. And this is a dual chromatic formula. This is seriously one of my favorite shades in the entire palette. It's like such a beautiful peach tone that has this really strong, like lime kind of iridescent-y shift. I've always wanted a peach to green type of shadow in my collection, and I never found one that was quite strong enough to really show the green shift. It would always look peach to gold, or you would see like a little bit of green, but it wasn't super noticeable. So Clionadh really nailed it when I told them that I wanted a color like this. They like over-delivered, in my opinion. They gave me exactly what I wanted and then some. It is like the prettiest peachy kind of salmony color, and you really see that lime shift. It is very intense, very strong. Especially when you layer this over Dragonfly or Cactaceae, you really, really see the green. But even on its own, like right here, just as you're seeing on screen, it is just super intense. You can see the peach, but you also see the green. And they just really understood what I wanted with this shade. I wanted peach green and not much else, and they gave me exactly that. Okay, so now we have Tropico, and we're just going to place this over top of Dragonfly. Just like so. And this is just going to add a really beautiful golden sheen. It's not necessarily going to turn Dragonfly super pinky. You're just going to see a really beautiful kind of green shimmer. And it turns a little bit more yellowy, almost like cactaceae. But you get that beautiful golden shift. I think this is like such a pretty combination. It's such a unique combination of colors. You know, you would never think to layer a pink and gold highlighter over top of a metallic, like glow stick green shadow, but it just makes such a pretty and unique color. And it kind of tones down the green undertones that are in Dragonfly. It just makes it a little bit more wearable, if you will, although honestly, like, wearable is subjective. Bright blue eyeshadow is wearable to some. It just depends on what you personally like, what your personal style is. And I just think that this is such a pretty, like, softer green. You still get that kind of bright green undertone, but then you get that really nice kind of golden shift, and there's like a little bit of pink, but not too much. It's just ever so slightly changed the undertone, and it just adds another dimension to Dragonfly. So now we are taking Tropico and we are placing it over Fruit Fizz. This is obviously going to make the warm peachy undertones in this original shadow much more warm and much more golden. So it's gonna not necessarily cancel out the green duochrome shift, but it's just gonna be less noticeable that it has the green duochrome shift because we're adding a pink gold highlighter over top. It just really warms up the overall color of Fruit Fizz. Fruit Fizz, because it has that green shift, it's like a warm base toned color with a kind of cooler green. So it's just going to warm up everything a little bit. You'll still see the green a little bit. It's just not going to be as intense, as I said. But as you can see, these two shadows together, like, I could leave the house like this and be totally happy with it. I think that they're so pretty, and I think that these two shades, Dragonfly and Fruit Fizz, were like meant to complement each other. And I think they go really, really nicely with each other. I think that, you know, leaving the house with two different colored eyes like this might be kind of obscure to some, but I feel like these colors are just like meant to be. They're just meant to be together. They're the perfect little pair. So I think that this is a really cute little look here. I would gladly leave the house just like this. And last but certainly not least, we are going to be taking Effervescent, which is a pale peach glitter shadow with rainbow sparkles, like a thirst-quenching sip of a Bellini. And that is like a very, very great way to describe the shadow. It is like the most beautiful peachy Bellini color, and I am just absolutely obsessed with it. It's a topper shade. You could wear it to transform any shadow that you have underneath. You can wear it on its own to give a really glittery and almost wet-like appearance. It is just such a beautiful, like, iced peach kind of shade. It is like my dream icy peach topper shade come to reality. I absolutely adore this color. So let's go ahead and pop this on the lids. I think this color is just so gorgeous on its own, but let's go ahead and take Tropico and place it over top and watch this transformation happen. This is like the prettiest combo, but we'll go ahead and just pop Tropico highlighter right over top. And like, look at that just come to life. Like, these two colors layered up. And honestly, I love all the combinations of these shadows in this palette with Tropico, but I think that Effervescent and Tropico together are my personal favorite just because it's like the most gorgeous peachy, iridescent-y, pinky gold. I think that these two together on the cheeks are just like absolutely stunning. It's like the most beautiful pink peach gold highlight, and I'm absolutely obsessed with these types of tones. As you guys probably already know, this is my jam right here, and I think that this combo is just so pretty. I love it so much. I cannot shut up about it. Tropico really does layer just so beautifully over every single one of the shadows in this palette. The formulas are all super buttery, and so is Tropico, so they just mesh together really, really well. But something about the icy peach kind of iridescence that Effervescent has just complements this beautiful golden pink highlighter so well. I absolutely adore it. I would wear this every day for the rest of my life and be a very happy girl. Alright, my friends, but I really hope that you enjoyed seeing the magic that can be created when you combine products and layer different products over top of each other. I absolutely love putting highlighters over eyeshadows to just transform them. I'm like a little 3-year-old with like finger paints or something when it comes to things like this. I'm just like always testing stuff out and layering things up. and I think it's a whole lot of fun, and I thought you guys would like to see how these products really work together. The next video on my channel will be us basically doing the same thing, using the dragon fruit shadows and layering Pitaya fruit lighter over top of them to show the kind of magical effects that can happen with Pitaya. But if you enjoyed today's video, I would absolutely love it if you gave me a big old thumbs up, and if you are not already subscribed and you want to see more dragon fruit themed content, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. But with that being said, I hope you are having an absolutely amazing and beautiful day wherever you are, and thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope to see you next time. Bye!